This is the Sony 28-60mm f4-5.6, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you a few reasons why you should consider purchasing one. This thing right here is super small if you compare it to other Sony lenses or any other zoom lenses out there. If it's not a crop sensor lens, it's going to be huge. So this is actually the lens that I bring out with me whenever I don't need that bokeh or that blurry background separation that you get whenever you use lenses like maybe this 35mm G Master. So whenever I don't need this big camera or this big lens, I'm going to be bringing out the 28-60 just because of how small it is. So the 28-60 is only 167 grams, and that is a very lightweight package considering that this is a zoom lens. The second reason why you should consider purchasing the Sony 28-60 f4-5.6 is the price. I think this is around $280 US right now on Amazon, which is a good deal because not only do you get a lens for your full frame camera without breaking the bank, you get a lens that can zoom, which is something that we all love, right? Because if you don't know what you're shooting on that day and you just want to walk around to take photos, you would want a zoom lens more than a prime lens, because if you're using a prime lens, which is a fixed focal length lens like a 50mm or 35mm, you are going to be limited as to what kind of photos you can take. But with a zoom lens, you're pretty much flexible in what photos you're able to capture. Actually, come to think of it, that is also my third reason for buying this lens, is that this is a zoom lens, not a prime lens. This allows you to go from 28mm to 60mm. So if you want a little bit of a wider shot, go to 28mm. This is good for landscapes, architecture. If you want to even vlog with this, I think it's possible, although it's not really a recommended focal length. And if you zoom into 60mm, you can get a little bit of a tighter shot, so you can have a better reach if the subject is a little bit further. Let's pretend you're taking a photo of a boat or a car from a fair distance, punch it into 60mm, and you're going to be able to take that shot. And at the same time, if you want to take portraits, like shots of people, just their heads, or a medium shot, 60mm is a pretty usable focal length. At the same time, it's not going to give you such a blurry background because this only goes from f4 to 5.6. But then again, 60mm is a decently flattering focal length. If you know the focal length chart, people say that anything above 50mm is going to be okay for portraits. But of course, a lot of people prefer 85mm. But this is what you have, and this is the way to make use of it. So the last reason why you should consider purchasing the 28-60 Sony lens is that this thing right here is not only sharp, but it has good contrast levels. Whenever you're considering purchasing cheaper lenses, usually the contrast levels are very low and you lose a lot of detail on the corners or something. But then there's a popular YouTuber called Christopher Frost. He reviewed this lens and he actually approves of this lens's sharpness and contrast levels, which is a good thing, because if you want to bring this around with you every day, right, you don't want to just compromise on image quality. You still want to be able to zoom, have a portable lens, and at least is decently sharp and has good contrast levels, which this lens has. So to conclude this video, I actually use this lens for two main reasons. Number one, if I'm walking around town and I just want to have a lightweight camera setup that I don't have to worry about the weight or is it gonna hurt my shoulders. And the second is if I want a top-down angle shot. Since this lens is a very lightweight lens, I can easily put it on a boom arm and take a top-down angle shot of my products that I'm reviewing here on YouTube without weighing that arm too much, because the last thing I want is a camera falling on my head, right? So this was just a quick video talking about the Sony 28-60 and why I love this lens right here. It may be a cheap lens, it may be a kit lens, but this lens right here still has a special place in my arsenal or the way I shoot. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Consider subscribing if you enjoy videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.